Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. 3-step refinement. I learned this in a course by legendary freelance animator and YouTuber Howard Wimshurst, also known as Animator Guild on YouTube. In his course, he talks about his 3-step refinement process for any animation. Draw, observe, and modify. It's a process you repeat endlessly. First draw out your single frame or multiple frames, observe any problems, and then fix them. Then repeat the cycle. Let's say you want to make a bouncing ball. Do a first pass of animating the ball the whole way through, then play it back and go frame by frame, taking note of any issues like the timing. Then fix those issues. Then play it back, notice any more problems, and repeat the process. No one gets it right the first go. The most experienced people have to go back in and fix their work. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. Animatics. I've always had a very loose approach to animation. Whatever I drew was the frame and that's it. However, when it came to more complex movement, it was far more complicated to keep track of all that, and I ended up being stressed, not doing work, and ultimately a worse end product. What did I do to solve this? Plan it out. Make crude sketches of your movement first, each key pose. Key poses meaning only the important, most different ones. Adjust the timing and play it back to ensure it plays roughly to what you want it to be. Then you do the final animation. Now that you have your work laid out in front of you, all you have to do is finish it. You're less stressed, you're having fun, and end up with a way better end product. Everyone wins. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. The most important principles of animation. If you don't know, there are 12 principles of animation outlined by legendary Disney animators in a book they wrote. However, when starting out, you don't need to know all of them. Here's what I think are the most important animation principles when starting out. Squash and stretch. It's the principle that defines the weight of the object based on how squishy you make it, including people. Make sure to keep volume in mind though. Make sure when you squish an object it gets wider and vice versa. Anticipation. It defines how you anticipate or prepare for an action, like a wind-up before hitting a baseball or raising the arm before reaching deep into a pocket. It's charming and clear to the audience. Straight ahead and pose to pose. They make animation easier to plan depending on the type of animation. If you're doing anything physics, you can just draw the frames from start to end. However, for characters and such, plan the key poses first and fill in the gaps. Ease in, ease out. They make movement natural by making them start slow and get faster and vice versa, and you see this everywhere. Not learning this causes movement to look robotic. And timing. It's how much time an action takes, how fast or how slow, which helps ground the animation in realism. So take these principles, learn more about them, and make a few short tests involving all of them for practice. After that, you can look into the rest, which will help you even more. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. Learn as you go. I started animating for fun, and I slowly built up a repertoire of skills as I went along based on what I wanted to do. I didn't really stress about me not being good enough because I kept seeing how people animated and kept picking little bits and pieces of how they worked and tried adapting that in my own animations. You can see this in my original pastiche of Animator vs. Animation in 2017. The animation style changes a lot because I kept learning new stuff. This continued throughout the years as well. When I worked at Jack and Jelly during BFB, I observed other animators' scenes frame by frame to figure out how to do blinks and movements and stuff, and I observed Alan Becker's fight scenes for my own stick figure fights. In addition, now I observe a lot of YouTube shorts and other animators on my journey to learn Blender. You don't have to learn everything at once, as that has always stressed me out and just made me forget things. Just learn the basics, do some projects, and learn things as you do projects. It's just way more easier and more manageable that way. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. How to start. You know what you want to do, but you don't know where to start. A blank page is really intimidating. Trust me, I've endlessly struggled with it and I'm still struggling with it today. While I don't know a definitive answer to this, I've found that the closest thing to solve this issue is to just do it. Don't delay, don't postpone your work, just do it now. Put something on the canvas already, even if you think it's not good enough yet. If you're writing, put something on the paper. If you keep your ideas in your head forever, then they'll never come to fruition. Even after coming back to a project after a long time, it's hard to pick things back up, but you gotta push yourself to start so you can get in the swing of working again. It's like riding a bicycle. You sure can balance it while it's standing still, but when you start riding it, then it's way easier to balance and coast. Just make your project already. Get started. Don't wait. It's gonna suck and that's okay. You can fix stuff along the way. Also, you may want other people to help you while making your project. A second opinion is always nice. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. It'll never be perfect. Now, I'm not saying that quality is wasted effort or trying to increase your animation quality is a useless endeavor. Quality is good. People pay attention to tiny details in artistic works. I think it's bad if you don't seek to improve your skills, but it's not a huge necessity. Especially when you're starting, your work will suck. That's just a fact. And another fact is you'll only go up from here. So don't worry about the fact that you're not good enough, because people will still love your work how it is, and you'll keep improving. For my works, I've stopped chasing animation quality and instead aimed to mainly improve my storytelling, as a great animation can be spoiled a bit by a poor story, and it's not necessarily the other way around. That way I can get animations out faster while they still look good enough. I can do better, but I just have my priorities elsewhere. It's up to you if you want to improve the quality of your animation and by how much, or if you want to focus on other aspects like storytelling and sound design and stuff. But all I'm saying is that it's not worth killing yourself over animation quality. Because if you aim to have the highest animation quality possible, your work will take a long time to finish, and I don't think that's worth it, at least for me. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. What software to use? It doesn't matter. Like actually, I've seen people want to use the best industry standard software, and even I thought that when I was younger, but it doesn't matter. Want to draw? Use Krita. Want to animate? Use Blender, or OpenToons, or even Pencil 2D. Want to edit videos? Use DaVinci Resolve or Kdenlive. Start with the free ones. Want a tablet? Get a cheap one from Huion or XP Pen. What device to use? Use the laptop you already have, or use an iPad. You have Procreate right there. Don't have a microphone? Use your phone's or laptop's microphone. Don't use the excuse of having to buy expensive hardware or software to get started with any animation or any hobby. Sure, you can get Adobe software later and more capable hardware later, but for now just use anything. It literally doesn't matter. Don't wait. Start animating now. And this goes for any hobby. Even game development. Just freaking do it. Get free software and start. Hell, if they work well, you can even use them into the future. But for now, just use them to kick your hobby off the ground. Go do it. Things I wish I knew about animation when I first started. Reference is not cheating. I will repeat this. Reference is not cheating. Reference is when you use real images or recorded videos to refer to when making a drawing or animation. You may think that you should internalize everything and draw from memory, but no, that's impractical and hard. Every artist uses reference to draw stuff. Hell, there's a program called PureRef that encourages people to collect as many images as you can for use as reference. It's literally in the industry. Hell, look at this video from a Spider-Verse animator recording herself so that she knows how to animate certain scenes. I refer to Google Images when making assets for my objects show. Use it. It's useful. Reference will make your life way easier. Just don't trace. Now that's cheating.